Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm sharing my list of the best new high-end and luxury makeup releases of 2023. Everything except for Chanel, which I've separated into its own category, so that will be a separate video, probably next. I was pickier than ever last year, and if you're familiar with my channel, my shopping habits, you already know that I've been on a self-inflicted low buy for the past few years. I never really set out to purchase every single exciting new launch. That would just be way too much for me personally. I still like to keep my finger on the pulse of what's trending, so if there was anything that was really big last year and everyone was giving it rave reviews, I probably tried it. And what I really love about this group of favorites is that they're not just products that I enjoyed using last year. Some of these are new holy grails. I'd say they're some of the best products in my entire makeup collection. Starting with complexion, I have two new foundation favorites to talk about. I think this technically launched at the very end, like late December 2022, but I know I didn't try it until 2023, so I think it counts. It's the Makeup by Mario foundation. This is the Surreal Skin foundation, and this is shade 11N. So when I first tried this foundation, I liked it, but I didn't love it, and that's because I had the wrong shade. It wasn't until I got a shade dark enough to match me when I'm sunless tanned that I really fell in love with this foundation, and it became one of my go-to everyday foundations towards the end of last year. I would keep this in the top drawer, and this was just my go-to foundation. Something I like about it is that as long as you don't use too much, because it is more dewy and luminous, it has a very natural skin-like finish. Sometimes when I hear glowy foundation or glowy skin, I think, that's not gonna work for me, but that was not the case. I was actually really impressed with how natural and just truly skin-like this foundation is. And it's really versatile. I think it makes the perfect everyday foundation. If you use a very small amount, just even out the complexion, it truly looks like your skin but better. But if I were going out for an evening or going to an event, I could still use this foundation and I know it would look flawless. This formula is so good, I will definitely be repurchasing. I probably have about half left, it's hard to tell, but I imagine I'll finish this sometime in 2023. And even though my foundation collection tends to get out of control, this is one that I will always repurchase because it is just so skin-like. It looks very effortless. Another one of my favorite foundation launches is this skin tint from Too Faced. It's the Too Faced Born This Way Healthy Glow Moisturizing Skin Tint. It has hyaluronic acid, watermelon, apple, SPF 30, which is one of the reasons I love this so much. I know Hourglass also launched a skin tint. Maybe the Rare Beauty moisturizer. I don't know. I have a couple other skin tints that I really liked last year, the Westman Atelier. This one is definitely my favorite far and away because it's so thin. I really love this formula. It goes on so thin, but really gives you coverage. So it has a very natural finish. So it dries down, it looks like your skin, but it doesn't feel heavy at all because it's so lightweight. And then you have the sun protection, the SPF 30. So I think this is so ideal, especially for Florida and Miami on days that you're just running out the door, you want a little something on your face. Maybe you're going to an event by a pool party, a boat party, maybe you're going to the beach with a group of friends, some sort of occasion where you're going to be spending a lot of time outside and you want to have makeup on, you want to be done up, but you don't want a heavy full face of makeup. This is perfect. I got so much use out of this over the summer, and I imagine when things start to heat up again, I'll be back to using this. And this is shade Natural Beige. It also says vegan, UVA, UVB protection, all-day hydration, non-acnogenic, and 24-hour wear. So it's very long wearing even though it's thin. I only have one concealer here to talk about, even though there were so many new concealer launches last year, and I don't even think this is new. This was just a reformulation, but it was needed. This is the Dior Forever Skin Correct Concealer. I am so happy they changed the formula because this was my worst enemy when it first came out. And I wanted to love it so much because you get so much product for the price. It was really good. And I hated it. It was my worst nightmare in a concealer. It creased constantly. This new formula does not crease at all, which is amazing. And one of the reasons why I love this so much is because the formula is great, but the price for the amount of product is pretty good. I mean, I think it's one of the best out there for a high-end luxury concealer. And I know if you're shopping Dior products, maybe you don't care that much about getting a value, but just for your information, it's $40, but it comes with 0.37 ounces of product. Compared with the new Gucci concealer, which I know a lot of people raved about, It has 0.27 ounces of product for $47, so a lot less, and it's even more expensive. I also really like this Very Valentino concealer that launched, but it has a tiny amount compared to the price. So this contains 0.2 fluid ounces versus the 0.37, and this is $35. I like it, but I would say this is still very comparable to the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk. So I just have something else already that's very similar. Whereas the Dior, I think it's amazing for a medium buildable coverage concealer. It's hydrating, it looks very smooth and flawless, but does not crease. Thank goodness they changed it. Blush was another really popular category last year. It seems like every brand launched a new blush, and there were so many cool formulas, different shades, so many beautiful blushes to talk about. So this is probably the hardest category to narrow down because I really do like most everything that I tried. These are a couple of my favorites. I really like these Armani Luminous blushes. This is shade 50. I purchased two and I love them both. I would say this is the one that I've gotten the most use out of. I also picked up, I want to say 40. It's a little bit more red. Very gorgeous for summer, sun-kissed makeup. Part of the reason why this was such a highly anticipated new launch is that Armani didn't have any popular blushes, so there wasn't anything like it from the brand. This really felt like something new for them, and I think they hit it out of the park. I love this packaging. It's very sleek and chic. The shades were really beautiful, and this powder is nice and creamy and very blendable. And this is the blush that I'm wearing today. This is from Makeup by Mario. It's the Soft Pop Plumping Blush Veil Cream Blush. There were a lot of similar blush formulas this year. I know Danessa Myricks came out with a cream blush. Kulfi, Say Beauty. There were a couple other brands at Sephora that I'm aware of that came out with similar products. I just really like this color. This is shade Perfect Pink. I purchased two. This is the one that I've gotten the most use out of, and I think it's just very pretty. It's very blendable, very balmy, so it leaves a really nice finish to the skin. And I think this blush goes really nicely with the Surreal Skin foundation. It's a great everyday formula. It's perfect for anybody who prefers more minimal makeup, ballerina makeup, cold girl makeup, all of the makeup trends, but definitely more skin-like, your skin but better. This is beautiful. I also really liked these as well. I told you I have a lot of blushes to talk about. It's not everything that I try. There are quite a few blush formulas that didn't make the cut, even though I really liked them. But I can't help but talk about these because they're some of my most worn. This one in particular, this is the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Matte Beauty Blush Wand. This one, this is Pink Pop. I used this all the time last year and it looks a little bit gross. I know there are a lot of complaints about the component. The sponge gets a little dirty. If you travel with this, it might explode and get all over the place. My cap isn't too bad. It's definitely not the most hygienic product, but this color is so beautiful for every single day. It's the perfect light peach. So this was one of my most used. I also picked up the Dream Pop, and I really like this one as well. Oops, see, this one opened and got all over the place. These are the dangers of this Pillow Talk wand. And what's funny is so many brands have copycatted this exact packaging from Charlotte Tilbury. I think we're gonna leave that in 2023. I don't think we're gonna see a lot of brands coming out with this wand packaging anymore. It's just too problematic. Now these are somewhat similar to the Makeup by Mario, or it's the same trend, the same style of makeup. This is from Pat McGrath Labs. It's the Divine Blush Legendary Glow Color Balm. I have Divine Rose and Forbidden Fleur. I really like this product. I didn't think I was going to love it as much as I do, but it's really just easy. It's portable. It's great to throw in a travel bag. I did travel with these sticks. The color is so gorgeous, and I really like the finish again because it's more of that balmy consistency. Even though it's a cream blush, like these are cream blushes as well, but this has more of a flat matte finish. This has a little luminosity to it. There's just something about a stick. I don't know what it is. I love it. If there's a good product and it's available in a stick, I'm gonna be a huge fan. This is actually the deeper shade and it's so pretty. It's a nice juicy berry. These Hourglass holiday palettes make my favorites list every single year, and they're back. But this choice does come with a little asterisk. I'm sure you know what it is. They're beautiful. I mean, there's a reason why people go crazy for these palettes every single year. The Hourglass powders are so skin-like. It just looks very soft, blurred, Instagram filter in a palette. However, they aren't all going to be for everyone, and you don't necessarily need to purchase one every single year. I would say stick with the palette or choose palettes that complement your skin tone and leave the rest behind. I've customized my palettes for the past 2 years, so I'm not sure what color story this is. This might actually be the Jellyfish, but I put it in tiger packaging. And then I have Jellyfish packaging. I think this might be the Snake. I'm not sure. This one was the darkest shades or the most colorful, vibrant. They're so beautiful, and I love how versatile they are. They're great for traveling. They always come with at least one repeat shade, sometimes more every year. I wish they didn't. I think every year they should come out with totally new shades of the powders, but they are so beautiful, and the powders themselves is really what makes these so special. The packaging is gorgeous, but Hourglass just has superior powders. The blushes, the bronzers, the highlighters are always gorgeous, and then the finishing powder is always a really nice touch. One of the least necessary purchases I made for 2023, because I've been collecting them for the past few years and I have never even hit pan in any of the powders. So I'm contemplating whether or not I'm going to pick these up for 2024, but no regrets. They're gorgeous. I don't have any individual bronzers. I don't think I tried very many new bronzer formulas. I think maybe the Saie Sun Melt, which I really like. It's one of my most used, but it's really comparable to the Chanel cream bronzers. I do have 2 highlighters here. These are so stunning. Highlighter is sort of obvious just because it's hard to mess up. There are so many gorgeous highlighters, but these are real standouts. This Rare Beauty highlighter, the colors, the shades that she chose, so pretty. The formula is gorgeous. The little brush is beautiful. They swatch more like eyeshadows because they are so pigmented, more so than a complexion product that you want to blend out effortlessly on the skin. And you can actually use these as eyeshadows as well because they are so bright. Anywhere that you want to add a pop of shine, these are so pretty. And then this one I've used on the body. This is shade Flaunt. This is more of a bronzy, kind of golden summer tan shade. This is really great for the neck, chest, décolleté, the shoulders. So beautiful. I like these powder highlighters so much more than her cream highlighters. I actually hated that product. I think I purchased 2 when they first launched and I returned them. I know some people like them, and I've seen a lot of people mixing the liquid highlighter into the blush. This is so much better than that. If you like payoff, if you want your highlighter to really bling, these are wow. If you prefer a creamy liquid highlighter, these Iconic London Rollerballs are so pretty. This gold one, I think for a while I was using it every single time I did my makeup. And I also really like them for travel, and this one I use on the body. It's Iconic London, so you know it's going to be very bright, but with these, I feel like because they have more shades, there's even a little rose one. Do you see how bright that is? You can sheer it out a little bit. So I usually just dab a little bit on the back of my hand and then I'll tap on the face. They're still so incredibly bright, but because it's a cream, it just sort of melts into the skin. And although it's so bright, it can almost be intimidating. It ends up looking a little bit natural, but just like intense glow, but naturally. And because it's liquid, you can mix it into a primer, you can mix it directly into your foundation. I love products like this because you can do so much with them. I have a few eye products here to share. I've been very vocal in the past about not loving, or at least not wanting to continue purchasing large eyeshadow palettes. This is one of the best launches of 2023. It's from Patrick Ta. This is the Major Dimensions 3 Matte Eyeshadow Palette. It's my first palette from Patrick Ta, so I didn't really know what to expect, and it's beautiful. Instantly became my favorite neutral eyeshadow palette. I know a lot of people are probably thinking it's just a neutral palette, and to some extent, you're right, it is just a neutral palette. You certainly don't need to rush out and purchase this if you already have dozens like it. but there's just something about it that is so perfect. He did something that other brands haven't really been able to capture. So for one thing, I love the layout. You have warm tones on the top, cool tones on the bottom, all mattes. You do have these cream shades over here, which I don't think I've even used any of the creams. They could probably have just done a smaller palette with just the powders and I would be fine. Creating looks is so easy and effortless. It's great for every day. It's great for smoky eyes. I've done more dramatic looks with this palette. I definitely think the quality of the shadows is better than my Makeup by Mario palette. That would be an obvious comparison. I like that palette. The layout is a bit strange. I think this one is more visually pleasing. I still don't feel the urge to rush out and buy all of his other palettes, but it does keep Patrick Ta top of mind when I think of quality eyeshadow. This really blew me away. I was thinking, oh, that's nothing special. I already have so many similar palettes. No, this is a standout product. And then I have two other singles here that I really love. This Merit eyeshadow is so good. This is their Solo Shadow. This is shade Vachetta, and I've just about hit the bottom. I've just about hit pan on this eyeshadow. This is the perfect every single day shadow. In fact, this was my go-to everyday shadow for a really long time. It's so good. It's very sheer. So it blends out really nicely, but it doesn't go on the lid and create a thick coat. So it doesn't crease. It's not difficult to work with in any way. It's effortless. This is such easy makeup, and this is the best shade in my opinion. My only complaint is that the packaging is a little bit difficult to close and open when they're brand new. This one, because I use it so much, I think I've loosened it up. But I don't really grab the other shades, so those are a little bit tight still. Vachetta is the perfect medium brown. And what I've been doing is I'll go in with my Merit shadow all over the crease, all over the lid. I'll blend that out first, and then I top that off with this shimmer from Give Beauty. This is the Eye and Sparkle Multi-Dimensional Eye Pigment in the shade Dazzle. It is gorgeous. I love this. It's the perfect copper shimmer, but it's not glitter. You don't have chunky flecks in there, so it still works as an everyday shadow, and it's just beautiful. So perfect. Even on its own, I think this would look really nice. I just can't stop wearing it. I use this just about every single day. It will probably last me a lifetime, even though I use it so much. I picked this up on a whim. I was walking through Sephora. I think I was walking through the Sephora at Kohl's, and I saw the Give Beauty billboard, and Gwen Stefani looked so beautiful, and she was wearing this shadow, so I picked it up, and I use it every single day, just about. I have one final eye product here to talk about. This is the Tower 28 Make Waves Mascara. This has become my go-to mascara, and I cannot do my eyelashes without it. It's really good. So the wand is slightly curved. There's something about the bristles, the formula, I don't know what it is, but it really coats every single lash. This brush allows you to really separate all of the hairs, and it coats them individually, so it really gives you that fluffy, elongated, really voluminous lash without getting clumpy, which is amazing. It pains me how many mascaras are open that are just drying out that I never really grab. Every once in a while, I try to pick up one of those other mascaras and try it again. And then I quickly rush and I'm like, no, hurry before it clumps and it dries. Let me go in with the Tower 28 just to smooth everything out. I feel like I have to have this. And finally, lips. I do have a few lip products here. I think eyes and lips, I made the most concerted effort not to shop for last year, but I still have a few favorites. This is the YSL Candy Glaze lipstick. It's a lip gloss stick. That's what they call it. It's very unique, but I really like it because I like gloss. I love my lips to feel really hydrated and shiny, and I also like a lipstick that hugs my lips. So these are perfect. It has that texture that it almost feels like it's melting with the warmth of your lips. So they end up looking really shiny and juicy, and then they have great color payoff. I'm actually wearing shade 8, I think, today. Ooh, no. 13 is the shade that I'm wearing today. It's so pretty. I'm gonna scoot in so you can see what it looks like. and they smell so good. They really smell like candy, and all of the shades are inspired by candy. I think they have mango oil or mango butter in them, but they feel really rich and buttery on the lips. I just love lipsticks like this. Such a cool, unique formula because it has that melty feeling. And you can tell that is my preference because this is also similar. This is the Tarte Maracuja Juicy Lip Plump. I know these got really popular. I'm not sure actually if these launched in 2023, but that's when I first tried them and I fell in love. I finished White Peach. I have Cherry Blossom right here. I also picked up 2 of the Shimmer Glass versions. So this is Peach and Rose. These have a hint of shimmer to them, but it's just the easiest thing. It's a lip gloss in stick form. You click it up. And usually what I'll do is I'll line my lips with a lip liner to give me a little shape, and I usually like to overline, and then I'll just go in directly with something like this or the YSL, and it's perfect. It gives my lips color. They almost feel like I'm wearing the Laneige mask or something really hydrating and nourishing on the lips, but then they also have shine to them. And the stick with the clicky packaging is so convenient. It's so fast, it's mess-free, and you could just throw them in your bag. I absolutely love these, and I finished one, so I didn't feel as guilty picking up 2 of the shimmer version. I will probably use all 3 of these in 2024. There was a lot of new makeup launched in 2023, but that is all I have to share with you for today. Those are all of the notable new launches of 2023 in my opinion. So thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Leave me your comments, questions down below. I cannot wait to read through all of your favorites of last year, so drop me your recommendations down in the comments. As always, I will be linking everything mentioned. Everything on my face will be listed down below in the description box for your convenience. And for more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell.